you get to Google Classroom is it should be in your Google Apps here, and it looks like a chalkboard icon with Classroom. So you can either create a Google Classroom under your professional or your personal email, whichever is your preference. This one is under my personal, just for the purpose of this project. If you want to create a Google Classroom, you use this plus icon here. So if you have multiple classes, you can create different classrooms for each class. As you can see, I only have one here for the one that I created for this project. Also, if you want to make it more accessible, you can always bookmark your classroom and it will pop up on your browser here so that you can just click on it and it'll bring you straight to that classroom. Let's get into it. So when you open up Google Classroom, it'll look something like this. It'll have the title of your classroom up at the top here, and then you can actually customize the background to be whatever you want. So you can go customize, and you can upload a photo or select a theme. They have lots of fun illustrations in here that you can choose from. And this general appearance here is what you're going to see when you log in, as well as what your students are going to see. So anytime that you post new material or an assignment, it's going to pop up in this area, which is referred to as the stream. In the stream, you can also post an announcement to your class, and students can post here too. Now onto my favorite part about Google Classroom, which is the ability to organize things under topics. So from the stream page, we're going to go into classwork, and this is how it comes up on the teacher side. So as you can see here, for my classroom, I have things arranged in topics. So I have course information, and then a topic for each of the topics that I explored throughout my unit, a topic for the student's final project, as well as a topic here for resources and different opportunities that students can get involved in. So now that we are in classwork here, in order to create a topic, you can just press the create button here, and there will be a variety of options that comes up. So assignments, quizzes, questions, material, or you can even reuse a post that you posted in the stream or in another area at a later date. Or you can choose topic here, so you would just press topic, add the title, and then this is a way that you can organize course information for the students. Another thing that I just wanted to note quickly was the ability to have a class drive folder. So this is an area where students can share all of their work, or you can have all of the information and resources on your classroom in this shared Google Drive. And there's also a Google Calendar function, which is awesome to add in due dates that students can use to keep track of their assignments. Now I'm going to talk about how to add material. So under the classwork heading, you're going to press create here, and you're going to choose material. It'll come up like this, and you can add a title on the top of what you want students to see, as well as a description. Underneath, you have some options here, such as add a Google Drive file. So this is where you would upload a file that you already have within your classroom Google Drive, so the students can access it under this material heading, as well as in the Google Drive. You can upload a file from your computer, a link from the internet, a YouTube video, and you can create a new item if you don't already have one previously created. So you press add new item, and then it provides you options with what you would want to create, like a PowerPoint presentation or a Google form. And the last feature that I'll mention here is that before you post the material, you can choose the topic that you want it to go under, or you can choose to create a new topic so that the material is already organized before you post it. So I'll just show you an example of what a material looks like here. So under the trip planning and preparation topic, I have a material here titled How to Set Up a Tent. I have my description, including questions that I want the students to consider while they watch the videos, and then I have a YouTube video attached here, as well as a link. So the students can click directly on these links or the video, and it'll open up on a different section of their browser. Now I'm going to show you how to create an assignment or a quiz. So you're going to go under classwork, create I'm going to create a quiz assignment here, and it'll pop up the same as material, but you can see the difference being that it's created a blank quiz Google form for me already, and it has a due date function here that you can assign, so you can add the date in and the time that the work is due, as well as the amount of points that it counts for. So I'm going to open up the blank quiz here. So the Google form will open up as so, and you can add the title as well as the description about the quiz, and you can choose different types of questions. So all of the question types are here. And then if I were to choose multiple choice, I would put in my answers here, and you can create an answer key for each question as well. So you would just press answer key at the bottom of each question, and you can choose the amount of points that you want that question to count for. And then this would be where you would put in the correct answer so that the quiz can automatically mark itself. A few other features that you can notice here is that you can add images and links and videos into the questions if you want, depending on how creative you want to get. Once each of the students completes the quiz, the responses will show up under the Responses tab here, so answers will pop up here, and it'll help you to keep track of all of the students that have completed the quiz. In the sense that you don't want to use that function, I'll just pull up this quiz here, the first aid quiz. You can also look under student work, so you will see once I have students in my classroom, I could assign work to them, and then the amount of students that have turned it in would pop up here as well. The last thing that I want to talk about today is the ability to include a rubric within Google Classroom that goes directly towards the student's grade on Google Classroom. So I have an assignment pulled up here, the student's final project, and I have a description here of instructions, as well as a few different things attached. So the grading rubric for students to see on a separate document, a Google Forms, and some Google Slides with information. But when you open up rubric here, this is what the students can see as well as what I can see, so that they have a general understanding of what they will be marked on. And I have 5 different topics here spread out on a 4-point scale for each of them. According to the BC Redesign Curriculum, I have the titles here: Extending, Proficient, Developing, and Emerging, so that the focus is on students understanding the content and being autonomous and responsible in their learning journey rather than just trying to receive a certain grade. One last thing to note is that all of the students have a general understanding of what is expected under each category, as I have a description included for each of the sections. So now I'm just going to show you a little bit about what a rubric looks like if you were to create it. So I'm just going to go into the edit function for the rubric that I have already created here. So when you go to create a new rubric or edit an existing one, it'll look a little something like this. So you have the criterion title. You can include a description if you want to explain to your students specifically what this section is for. And then here you can add the different sections for each criterion, including the amount of points, if you want to use a point system or not. If not, you can turn off the Use Scoring tab up here. And then I have a title for each of them, as well as a description, so the students understand what they need to do in order to achieve that level within that criterion. Just as an example here, I'm going to add a new criterion, so it would pop up something like this. So you would add in the title, the description, the amount of points if you want. If you were to turn Use Scoring off, this would not be required. You could add in the level title and then a description, and you just press this plus button here to add in a new level. So after I would fill this out, I would press plus to add in a new level, and then I would just press save, and everything would come up as the edits that I made. One last feature I'd like to mention is the filter feature. So one thing I love about Google Classroom is that everything can be very organized. So if a student were to click on one of the topics, everything would pop up open for them. So materials, quizzes, everything for them to see, and is easily accessible here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this guide was helpful, and I hope that I encouraged you to feel more confident in your ability to use Google Classroom as an educator and maybe a student. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.